First, I'm Sharon Serbin. I'm a mom. I'm a grandmom. Those are good titles. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. They're good titles. Okay. I work, up until today, I worked full-time here at Center for Hearing and Deaf Services as adult training life skills program counselor. Okay. Now, I grew up hard of hearing. Went full deaf when I was 18. It was gradual. So I sign, but right now I'm not going to sign while I talk too much because it's too hard. ASL, American Sign Language, grammar is different. Okay? So if I'm speaking in English and trying to sign ASL, they don't match. But for me not to sign at all is like not breathing. So the interpreter will sign for me, but you're going to see a lot of signs coming for me too.
Why is it important for people to understand what it's like to navigate the city or the region without hearing?
Okay. Well, first, the people I work with are deaf and ID, intellectually disabled. Okay. We don't use MR anymore. We use ID. So they're adults from 21 up to about 63. Okay. So that's a different group, but all deaf. What you need to know is, first, it's not contagious. Okay. You won't believe so many people used to be. I would say, oh, I'm deaf, and they would back away. It's okay, it's not contagious. Or people would say, that fell off, okay. People would say, oh, I'm sorry. Nothing to be sorry about. I'm happy being deaf. I didn't choose it. I don't wear it like a banner. Sharon's deaf. It's just part of me. There are many in deaf culture who do. It's the first thing they identify with. Okay? But me, it's a part of me. Would I change it? Probably not. I went for evaluation for a cochlear implant a few years ago. Once my kids grew up and moved out, they were insisting, Mom, you need to get a cochlear. You're living alone. It's not safe. It's fine. No, Mom, what if you leave the stove on and you don't hear it click? And I said, stoves click? Mom! Okay, fine. So I went and got evaluated. They say, yeah, I'm a good candidate. But everything would be monotone. And I have memory of sounds. I have memory of music. Everything before 1979. I can sing all the songs. But I don't want to replace that with monotone. People can understand me clearly. That makes it easy for me to work in the hearing world. Deaf who don't speak clearly, it makes it a little harder. They can do it. They're capable. It's fine. But it makes it harder. And people need to understand just because they can't speak does not mean they're stupid. That horrible way of referring to deaf and dumb. Dumb meant not stupid. It meant they couldn't speak. But society took it as dumb, and they ran with that. Okay? Get rid of it. There are many deaf, go to college, educated, intelligent, smart, awesome people. And the hearing world needs to realize that.
You described yourself a couple of minutes ago as a bridge kid. Does that feel like a responsibility to be that, a communicator for both?
I think it's an advantage, not so much a responsibility, but it's a gift. And anytime you're given a gift, you have to use it to help others. I'm also, the other thing, as I do communication assessment. So a few years ago, I think 2013, there was a Harry M. lawsuit where there was a deaf with ID living in consolidated state waiver home. And staff couldn't communicate with them at all. He got very sick. He ended up dying later, but there was a suit against Pennsylvania, the state, and one saying, okay, anybody living under state waiver money, their staff must communicate with them, must. They say, okay, fine, great, but nobody knows each person's different communication needs. So Temple University trained assessors to go around different places and assess that individual's needs. Can they read lips? Can they write? Do they sign? Do they gesture? What? What are they able to do? What's their promising for the future? What will help them? And then reports, and we recommend them. So that should help all these people.
So, I mean, the assessment makes me think so much of life is communication, and if there's a barrier where you can't help yourself or someone can't help you, it must be such a lonely or hard place.
It's extremely lonely, and a lot of these ID clients, consumers, also have mental health struggles, problems, right, they're struggling with. And if they're so lonely and they can't communicate, it's stressful, or the behavior will blow up because there's no communication. Communication drops. That's terrible. How they going to say, I don't feel good. How they communicate, I don't want that for dinner. Okay? They should be able to communicate their wants, their choices, how they feel.
Well, speaking of universal energy, I've attended your water aerobics class in East Liberty, and you have a way of connecting with people. I've never seen so many people smiling and laughing so much while exercising. Why do you think that is?
I think that's from my dad. Okay. My father was a motivational speaker, and I grew up with that. Okay. So I think what I do is just continue on what he taught me. That's another book I want to write. I want to call it Reap the Harvest. Okay. Dedicated to my father, who planted the seeds of the garden I now tend, may all reap its harvest. And teach different things about positive thinking, such as if you sit there and say, I can't do it. I'm deaf. I can't do it because I'm poor. I can't do it because I'm divorced. I can't do it. All those can'ts, negative, 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 build up a wall. And it blocks you. You sit there and say, I can do it differently. I can. Positive, positive, positive. It's a ladder. And you just keep going. There's no stopping you.
Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.